Talk it a little bit so I can, it helps me.
Stroking the meridian.
Good.
And then locating the point. Rolling over on the point. Bringing the needle in. Closing the Oshide over the point. Advancing the needle.
There. Get some chi.
Do you know what else we're doing today?
Gather it.
You want to practice your own technique on D and how you
Yes.
do that?
Close the bottom. It's not bad. I think it did some positive. Yeah. Sorry, it didn't get harder. That's for sure. I think it got softer and it built a little bit. I think you could have,
Waited a little
you
longer.
could have gathered. I think maybe you weren't in exactly the right depth. Maybe it could have been a hair deeper.
Closer.
Yeah, I think you were in the top part of the chi level, but it could have just been a hair. I mean, like a half a millimeter.
As long as you're here.
Why don't you do a different point?
And we're here.
I think if you would have had that hair, I should have said going like know how to find them.
You mean pericardium 7?
Oh, wait, we're going to explain. Pericardium 7. All right. So why don't I give the feedback here just for the heck of it?
Stroking the meridian.
I don't think I'm ever going to get that far, but I'm sorry to harm people's fingers. It's just not my deal.
Locating the point, rolling over on the point.
Doesn't seem like we're just different hours.
Just do a scar treatment. Just a little ear needle from underneath it.
Advancing the needle and slowly.
On your finger?
Slowly. Nice. That's good. Nice little feather down, a little bit at a time. That's good. That's a good pace. Entering the chi. There's a little bit.
And I feel a little something around my fingers.
Something's grabbing a little bit. That's good. It's building. Start closing the bottom of the Oshide so you can really fill it up. Let it fill. Close the bottom and withdraw. Does that feel okay?
Yeah, I could feel a little tingle in my fingers.
That's not bad.
I
So
felt it a
that's the
little
basic process. Did you feel it gathering? You felt the tingle. And then at that point, it's like you feel that tingle. You feel you're at the right level. You just want to. Then you want to just make sure you're starting to tighten the Oshide some. You're getting ready for that bottom to be closed completely. And you just kind of let the chi gather, and then when you're ready, start closing. Like that, something to that effect. I mean, the timing can be different, but the key is you get the chi, and you want that sense of tingling or filling up happening. It's just very light. It's subtle, but it's very tangible after a while.
It's just a tingle. For me, it's just a tingle in the
Subtle tingle at the tip, right?
Sometimes it'll start to travel up to first this finger, then this finger a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be careful. If it starts traveling up too much,
Then
you may be leaking a little bit.
Okay.
You want it to feel it, but you want to have a sense that you're really that it's connecting there, but it's filling the channel and it's not creeping up your arm too much. I mean, it's okay to feel like expansiveness. I don't know. I don't know about it. I'm not 100% sure, but sometimes when I start to feel too much up here, I think I'm gathering the chi and it's feeling somehow something slipping out a little bit too much.
So after you start to feel it in your fingertips, you're pretty close to wanting to take the needle out,
when you feel
right?
it, you want to be thinking, okay, this could be filled any minute. So you want to make sure your Oshide is getting firmer, closer to 100%, and that the bottom of the Oshide is starting to be really smoothly flattened, against the skin. That you got that bottom So that's the thing. You want that so that the bottom is really closed, and that way nothing leaks out. It's like, and it is a process. I mean, see, with me, I think it happens most of the. I don't know, maybe the teachers don't have it. But when I close the bottom, you see how there's kind of a little uplifting kind of quality there. So you have to be careful that you don't disconnect the needle at that point. You see, you want to stay. You want to do it in a way that you're staying in contact without. And you also don't want downward pressure on the oshide. That little piece there is what I see most people not getting right away. It took me a long time to understand that. Once you start to get that piece, I think, you know, finding the point eventually you get good at. Going into the chi, most people catch on to that at a reasonable level, but people, how to really finish the technique, that's what I've noticed. People in our study group, that's the hardest thing.
So it actually lifts a little bit.
I think so. With me, it does. Now, I don't know that that's a general rule that will happen to everybody. But just the way my oshide is, it's like you're here. You're closing the oshide. You're going left, right. But there's this, you're going left, right. But there's also a slight emphasis that the bottom be closed. So it's kind of both. This, you know, it's both this way, you know, parallel to the ground you're going, but you don't want to just go parallel to the ground, because if you go just parallel like up here, look what happens. This opens up. See, if you go like this, you're open. So you need to have that.
Roll it. You need to
so
roll
there's a slight roll. There's a very, you know, there's a subtle rolling action, because you can't have it totally tight initially, flat at the bottom, because if you do that, that needle is not going to advance. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have to have it stable and firm, but loose enough to advance the needle. Once you're in the flow, that's the exact right flow, and the chi's building up, you can let that chi build up, and then you make your little adjustment of closing left, right, and making sure the bottom, and that's the key. And then
That's my back.
And then right just before the peak, and you know, cover your eye. Is that?
And
Play with that. Play with those ideas and see
want
if
to
you can get a
slowly
feel.
tighten it up so that
Yeah, you don't want to abruptly. You don't go bam. It's a slow.
you slowly tighten it up so you reach 100%, and right when you reach 100%, you're out.
Swell up, like you can try to process it.
Yeah, you don't go to 100% till you do the 100% just before the peak, and just, you know, it's 100% and out. But those are good questions to ask Marty next time. Marty will probably have a lot of good ideas, and he may have a slide. You're going to hear probably a lot of different ideas. But that's how I can conceptualize it for myself. So, but ask him about the details of that finishing process. He'll probably have some good things. Marty gives you really good feedback. It's really. That's why I like to come for practice group when he's there, because I like to practice my needle technique, because he always has very, very specific, clear feedback.
Water. Yes.
Through here and through here. So there's some coalescing through this area. So immediately I think chest, possibly epigastric, upper jaw kind of things. But what indeed they say here is, let's see if it gives me vertigo, Alzheimer's disease, emotional disorders, obviously, liver, heart, emotional disorders, eye afflictions, I guess because of the liver disorders involving the endocrine, because of the liver, ovaries, all that, distension pain, chest sides, hernia because of the liver, muscle cramping because of the liver. A lot of it's liverish, lack of motivation, maybe that's an emotional thing. So it's a lot of liverish kind of symptoms they're saying here, along with emotional disorders and chest disorders.
I see quite a bit of that, actually.
Yeah, it's a good
one.
It's a good one to use. We used it on one person today, but yeah. Just practice on your belly. That's what the teachers recommend. Or practice on your thigh. You don't even have to choose real life points so much. It's the issue of, you know, you're sitting there in bed at night before you go to sleep, and you're just feeling across your abdomen. You roll off. You form the oshide. You know, you feather it in, you put the needle in slowly. You feel the tip of the needle where there's some chi, you know, and just go through it. You know, go through it a few hundred times before you come to next weekend. You know, I'm serious.
It makes all the difference.
It will make all the difference. Don't just say, oh, I don't have someone to practice on. At this stage, it's best that you develop your own. You're not going to get big pulse changes. You know, just divest yourself of that at this point. That's the truth. But you can work on your own form and your own sense of how to do it, and you can do it on yourself. Okay, that's all I want to say.
Smoking God. It's like a 1,300-year-old carving on top of one of the pyramids. That's what he has in his place. That's making him turn into whatever this is.
This is coming out of his. It's interesting.
And this is
it's coming out of his crown, and then it's reconnecting down to the earth. It's like some sort of circuit.
And then it's turning into a jaguar. The spots are.
Yeah, I think they certainly had access to
salvia to the north. I'll just find a point.
Yeah, you're getting close. That's a good one. That's got a little bit of life. That's a life point. Feel that it's a little weak right there.
Yeah. Okay, so
good. That feels good. Make sure you got a good, gentle. Yeah, feel to get that stability.
So that's better. More gentle.
Yeah, and that allows you. This allows the Oshide to float.
Okay. Bringing the needle into the Oshide.
You can literally just open your fingers up like that?
You can do that, yeah. You open the one finger so you can get it. Yeah, a little bit. I don't feel the chi. There's some chi. Feel that chi? There's the chi. There, that's good. That's a good depth. So keep it at that depth as you start to consolidate. A little bit lighter. I mean, firm, but not too much. You're a little bit tight. That's it. That's better. That's it. You're firm, but you're light. Feel the difference?
Yeah, I do.
Chi's getting a little bit better. And get ready, close the bottom, and pull out any second now. There. Yeah, you caught when you got a little bit too tight there, and all of a sudden you just kind of you intended a little bit less, and you could feel things moving through better. Did you feel that?
I did,
That's a really important thing to know.
Yeah.
To catch.
Yeah. Thank you. That's a subtle change, but it was
dramatic.
Crucial.
Yeah. Okay. So you take this being this movement, even that much of a movement, where you're indenting, you're going down on the. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Is that good feedback?
That's important.
Okay, one more real quick, so
there's a lot of different styles of acupuncture, and a lot of them are effective.
That's right.
So why Toyohara?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Well, they think it's really the best acupuncture because they're doing.
I think it's the most profound.
Yeah, they think you're working at the root, the deep root, the fundamental healing level by doing a proper balancing of the pulses. And then you integrate it with symptom treatment. And they feel like most other acupuncturists don't do it and don't have the techniques to truly balance and build the chi in the body.
I mean, is it okay if I go
You
that
go
way?
this way too. I don't care.
Well, what about with somebody that's like got some spasm piriformis with sciatica and
Jaw
stuff?
channels, that would be with the channel.
Treat it.
With Toyohari?
You treat anything with Toyohari. There's so many different symptoms. Once you go through the whole thing, there's all these different symptomatic ways to do things.
Yeah.
And you can touch deep stuff like that. I can needle very superficially and help psoriasis release.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, psoas is a lot more shallow. Piriformis is like under 3 different muscles.
Piriformis, you might not go into it, but depends
Yeah.
on the person. You can do things pretty superficially.
I was just trying to see where I was.
But it's not like root, just you do root treatment, but you
Yeah.
can do symptomatic treatments, insertion, and at very shallow levels and get effect on the deeper muscles once you know how to direct the chi.
Hmm.
Yeah, she wasn't here the second time either, just the first weekend.
Okay. A little bit. There's some chi. Feel that a little bit more. Okay, now stay with that, but let your whole being soften a little bit.
Okay.
That's better. There. Come on a little bit
So
better.
she's from here.
And removing
Just the bottom.
She was here the first week.
And again, yeah, so that you're gathering a little bit more chi. Don't push down. There.
and pull out.
A little bit lighter pull out. Quicker.
Yeah, I can't get the.
You got to get the bow. Yeah. It's like, depending on which one you do.
Okay.
Either that one,
Send your finger.
but it's like, I mean,
Okay.
it's like, you might want to even exaggerate it for a while.
For a while.
For a while, just give it a little
To get
flourish,
used
so,
to it.
you know, like you're really, the bow's really coming out.
Okay.
But it's simultaneously.
Okay.
I mean, there's-
Great.
do one more real
Okay.
quick.
Locating the point.
Mark's always in.
Inserting the needle. Advancing the needle. I'm relaxing.
Yeah, okay, yeah, always make that adjustment to soften your consciousness, because it's so easy, it's easy to get too intent. There, okay, very slowly, a little bit deeper, there, that's plenty. Closing the Oshide, gathering the chi, letting the chi fill up, feel it fill up from the tip of the needle.
Relaxed.
Okay, you came a little bit out of the chi
I
flow a
did.
little bit.
Okay.
Did you feel that?
There it is now again.
It's coming in again,
Okay.
a little bit, going a little bit better, slowly, a little bit more. There.
Okay.
Well, I guess.
Closing it up a little bit more. Gathering.
Close it with
pull
that.
it.
That's better, much better.
I just left it on.
Huh?
I just left the whole
That's
ocean
okay.
in there.
Well, but the
Okay.
coming out was better.
Okay, thanks. Got it.
Okay.
Getting it.
Chi, but you were just sort of hanging out in no man's land there with a little bit of chi, and it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't gathering. It
Yeah.
wasn't finishing.
It felt like
But you were at the right level. I mean, it felt okay, but it just didn't. It didn't
do
crisp out.
anything.
It didn't. It's like once you get in that level, then you want to have it in the level where you feel like you're really, you know, hitting the tips of the balloon, and it's the energy's gathering. You know that there's some gathering process, and then you can use add the actual process of closing the Oshide to help that. You know, to kind of keep the chi in, so it really builds.
it felt like when I was starting to close the Oshide that I started to lose it.
Yeah, you lost it somewhere. It was leaking. It wasn't grossly leaking, but it just kind of enough. It was sort of like it was there, but it wasn't moving. It wasn't moving. Yeah, so I think you just have to. Once you find that, you just have to get that tip, and then maybe you needed to relax a little bit more.
Or focus
Like just
more.
focus, kind of relax and focus so that it goes through more. Okay. Do you want to do one?
If you have
Yeah, I have
because I
time.
did
I
have
have
a
time.
chance to work
You
on
do.
Josh, so.
Yeah, why don't you do that? Have a nice stability to them, but just relax. Okay, you're already getting into the chi some. There. So,
Closing the bottom.
okay, relax a little. You're a little bit tight, but that's better. But just be have a little bit less tight in tension. There, let the chi flow through better. There.
That's better.
Yeah. Stay even a little bit lighter. There, it's moving. Yeah. Did you feel the shift when you just went light and the chi went through
Yeah,
better?
it's-
And then when you went lighter, you could have even gone lighter, and I think the chi would have even spread more. You had a good chi there, but there was just a little bit of a tight intention in general through your whole system. You could have even lightened
Feel
up
it in my
more.
shoulders, yeah.
Yeah, but basically you're on the right track. Why don't you try another one? Okay.
Chris, we wanted to say thanks.
Oh, your question was, would I be back again?
Yeah, you're gonna come back.
Relax. You got good stability. I like the stability there, and yet there needs to be just a little bit more, just a kind of a lighter attitude, a little less intention. Okay, you're coming into the
maximum.
Yeah. Okay, you've got it. You're into chi flow. There's gathering. Okay.
Is it too early?
Not necessarily. And actually, in reality, that might have been pretty good. If you were on a real point, that might have been about the right time. Because once they get that chi, and then there's this whoosh of chi. You felt that. You got a nice little bit. Oftentimes, is that's just coming up to a peak really quick, and they'll just close the hole and come out within 2 or 3 seconds after they hit that chi flow.
Okay.
And they do say, 3 to 5 seconds. Most of us take 10 or 20 seconds or 30. But yeah, that was actually probably pretty good. I mean, I can't tell for sure because we're on not a real point and everything, but it felt good. It felt okay.
Okay.
What's your mental process of gathering the chi?
Well, my mental process is, a lot of it is being light. I mean, maybe I didn't emphasize that enough for people. It's just softening and relaxing. Once you get in the chi level, you're within the form. Everything's stabilized, and you want to be in the very rigorous form. And you're getting ready. I think I've been emphasizing people the closing the Oshide, because I think most people don't do a good job of closing the Oshide without pushing down or leaking the chi. But within that, there's this whole sense of expansiveness, roundness. There's just a sense of more global, kind of a global awareness. There's a one pointedness at the needle and a global awareness simultaneously, and it's just, and it's actually sort of a resonance or a transference, like from the, it's like there's something happens at the tip of the needle, and it transfers from your technique through the tip of the needle into the person. And I'm not sure how to describe it better than that at this point, but it's so. The chi actually moves better when you get your awareness out of the way, when you stop trying too hard and you lighten up, within the context of being very focused and very formal, if that makes sense.